Hello everyone. Welcome to Jamjack channel. For today's episode, we will take a review about the Gundam Barbatos, but before we begin, make sure to smash that like button, and if you are new to my channel, please subscribe and click the notification bell for more review videos like this. Let's get started. The ASWG-08 Gundam Barbatos is the main mobile suit in the first season of the Mobile Suit Gundam Iron-Blooded Orphans anime and is primarily piloted by Mikazuki August. History. The Gundam Barbatos is the eighth of the 72 Gundam frames created by Gjallarhorn near the end of the Calamity War to counter the threat of the powerful mobile armors such as Hashmal. It was later discovered by Maruba Arke in the Mars Desert and was recovered to serve as a power reactor for Kriss Guard Security's base. The machine was taken out of the base by Mikazuki August during Gjallarhorn's assault. CGS, now Tekkadan, continued to improve the suit with parts and armor taken from defeated Gjallarhorn mobile suits. Teiwa's technicians later restored the Barbatos to its original appearance and close to its original performance. Following the defeat of the Brewers, Barbatos's spare parts were used to transform the ASWG-11 Gundam Guzhen that Tekkadan had obtained from the Space Pirates into the ASWG-11 Gundam Guzhen Rebaki. After the Montag Company offered their alliance to Tekkadan, the group gives them spare parts for Gundam Barbatos as a gift. These parts were used in Barbatos's subsequent forms, proving to be handy during the atmospheric entry battle and subsequent battles on Earth. On Earth, the battle at Millennium Island with Carta Issue's forces resulted in Barbatos losing its shoulder armor, and they were replaced by those from a defeated Gray's Ritter. It was also upgraded with new waist boosters. En route to Edmonton, Tekkadan met with Carta's forces again, but they were quickly dispatched by the Barbatos. At the outskirt of Edmonton, the Barbatos and Tekkadan's other mobile suits spent 3 days fighting with Corliss Stenge's forces. The enemy was eventually reinforced by Galio Baudouin's ASWG-66 Gundam Kimari's Trooper and Ein Dalton's EB-AX-2 Gray's Ein, and the Barbatos was subsequently locked in a fight with the former. With help from McGillis Farid and his V-08-1228 Grimgard, Mikazuki and Barbatos escaped from the Kimari's Trooper and heads to the city where it stopped the Gray's Ein from killing Kudelia Aina Bernstein. During the fight with Gray's Ein, Mikazuki was pushed hard and in order to win, he sought more power from the Barbatos via his Elia Visionana system. The system responded and improved his reaction speed, leading to Barbatos having better movements. The Barbatos's shoulder armor and backpack were later ejected as decoys, and the suit managed to slice off Gray's Ein's forearms after Mikazuki mastered the long sword, the Barbatos's only handheld weapon left at that time. The Barbatos then won the battle after piercing Gray's Ein's cockpit, killing Ein. After the Battle of Edmonton, the Gundam Barbatos participated in numerous battles for Tekkadan. However, its accumulated damage soon proved too much for Tekkadan's mechanics to repair. Thus, it was sent alongside the Gundam Guzhen Rebaki to the Mobile Suit Workshop in Seisei to receive an overhaul, becoming the ASWG-08 Gundam Barbatos Lupus. Technology and combat characteristics. The Gundam Barbatos is one of 72 Gundam frames that was produced and used in the Calamity War, roughly 300 years ago. After it was recovered, Kriss Guard Security used it as a power reactor. Aside from the fact that its AHAB reactors were still functional, this was done mainly because Barbatos's cockpit was missing when it was found. A new cockpit similar to the one used by the CGS mobile workers was installed prior to its redeployment by the third group. Poor maintenance over the centuries since the Calamity War has degraded the Barbatos's armor and full combat potential. This is later rectified by Teiwa's technicians, who not only restored the Barbatos to its original look but also returned it back to a performance close to its original. Gundam units like the Barbatos are able to achieve a high energy output because they possess 2 AHAB reactors. However, because it is difficult to run them in parallel operation, only a total of 72 Gundam frames were ever produced. The burden experienced by the pilot is high as a result of the high output and maneuverability. However, it's mitigated by the implementation of inertial control due to the use of AHAB particles generated from the reactor when a phase transition occurs inside its vacuum device. The cockpit structure is positioned in front of the reactor to take advantage of this. Among the same frame machines, Barbatos has been adjusted for an emphasis on versatility. It has the potential to adapt to every circumstances by exchanging its equipment. It can also use weapons and armor from defeated enemies to improve its fighting capabilities. Forms. First form. Barbatos was in this form when Maruba RK CGS president discovered it in Mars desert 300 years after the Calamity War. Since its Ahab reactors were still in an operational state, it was used as the CGS HQ's power source until Mikazuki boarded it. At the time it did not have any shoulder armor. Second form. CGS was later reformed into Tekkadan, and prior to Tekkadan's departure to Earth, the Barbatos's first form is fitted with the shoulder armor from the captured EB-06 Greys. These shoulder armors have the same white and blue color scheme as the main body, as they are painted with the same nanolaminate armor. Third form. After the battle with Yallarhorn near the low orbital station, the Barbatos second form is equipped with the wire claw captured from Galio's Schwalbe Greys to fix the damaged left forearm armor. Fourth form. Barbatos's original form. It is reproduced by technicians at Tewaz's base, Seisei, based on ancient materials from the time of the Calamity War that had been recorded in their database. The machine's weight balance is stabilized, and the two reactors' output and operation rate are also improved after extensive maintenance and overhaul. While Barbatos's performance is now closer to the original state, it is still not yet at 100%. Fifth form. A new form with added waist boosters, redesigned forearm armor with mortars and chest-mounted reactive armor. Some of the new parts were provided by the Montag company. The waist boosters served to increase the suit's mobility and were originally the hip-mounted flight units of Ein's Schwalbe Greys. Tekkadan recovered the parts when they were dislodged from the Schwalbe Greys during an earlier battle. The reactive armor serves as a countermeasure against the Chimeras' hit-and-run attacks with its Dingnir Lance. Fifth form, ground type. A modified version of the fifth form for ground combat, it was created with the help of Eco Turbine and again used parts provided by the Montag company. The leg suspension was adjusted to adapt to the Earth's gravity and new feet were used. As a result of this, the suit now has a higher center of gravity, leading to faster reaction and thus better mobility under gravity. The added waist thrusters were removed as they were deemed useless for ground combat, and the forearm mortars can be exchanged with autocannons. Sixth form. A reinforced version of the fifth form ground type for the final battle. The side skirt armor was replaced with a pair of tail boosters, the shoulder armor was replaced with those from the EB-06R Greys Ritter, and additional armor is added to the chest. The tail boosters improve the suit's ground mobility, and have reduced fuel consumption. The added chest armor provides the cockpit with better protection from concentrated attacks and can withstand prolonged battle. Although the new armor reduces the suit's mobility, they allow the Barbatos to battle for prolonged periods without any resupply. When required, the shoulder armors can be ejected and used as a decoy. Armaments. Mace. Maruba RK, CGS president, had considered using the Barbatos in battle and so had kept some equipment for it. The mace is one of them. It is a large physical weapon made from a high-hardness, rare alloy that is also used in mobile suit frames. As mobile suits use nanolaminate armor for protection, such striking weapons are considered to be effective. The center of the mace features a pile driver mechanism that fires a needle, a large spike rod from the tip when activated, and this is often used for piercing the enemy mobile suit. The mace's handle is telescopic, and it can be stored on the backpack arm when not in use. Used by the first form up to the fifth form, it was lost during the atmospheric entry battle with Gundam Kimaris and was left floating in Earth's orbit. Long sword. A mobile suit use sword shaped like a katana. It was created in the factory within Tewaz's base, Seisei. It is easy to handle due to its light weight, and shows its superiority during localized attacks. The sword's grip is later improved to fit Barbatos's hands better and to help minimize kinetic energy loss when using the weapon. Due to the high strength of the nanolaminate armor, the sword's slashes are ineffective. Thus, Mikazuki is forced to aim for gaps within the enemy mobile suit's armor with the help of the Elia Vizhnana system. The long sword primarily functions as a backup melee weapon when the mace or the large special mace is available, as Mikazuki finds it hard to use. However, in the battle with Grey's Ein, Mikazuki finally mastered the weapon and it is shown to be able to slice through both mobile suit armor and frame in a single attack. The long sword can be stored on the backpack arm when not in use. Used by the fourth form onwards. Gauntlet. Already equipped when Barbatos was discovered on Mars. It is thought to be one of Barbatoss's original equipment, but it is not a complete certainty. Used only by the first form and second form, the gauntlet was lost when it was ejected alongside the rest of the left forearm armor during the battle with Gjallarhorn forces near the Mars Low Orbital Station. Smoothbore Gun. A 300mm caliber gun produced for use mainly in zero-gravity environment and space, emphasis was placed on power rather than accuracy. The high-speed maneuvers of enemy mobile suit in space further made it difficult for the smoothbore gun to hit them with high accuracy, but this was overcome, thanks to the Alaya Visionana system. The high-speed bullet fired from the smoothbore gun have occasionally shot off the armor pieces of enemy mobile suits or even penetrate their nanolaminate armor. The weapon also has a 60mm machine gun at the bottom. It can be folded up and mounted to the suit's backpack arm when not in use. The unfolded gun can be used while still mounted, thanks to the design of the backpack arms. Its magazine holds 12 rounds. Used by the second form to the fifth form. GRES-02 Wire Claw. Used only by the third form, it is a shooting claw weapon mounted on the left forearm that is used for restraining enemy mobile suits as well as for clinging to enemy vessels. It was taken from Galio's Schwalbe Graze and replaces the lost gauntlet. GRH-01 9.8 meters Battle Axe. A close combat weapon used by Graze that the Barbatos obtained temporarily during the battle with Gjallarhorn forces near the Mars Low Orbital Station. Long-range rifle. A weapon borrowed from the Gundam Guzhen Ribaki. A modified, long-range version of Graze's 120mm rifle, it is created by Tewa's engineers that are with the turbines. Thanks to the longer barrel and the added scope, its long-range accuracy has been greatly improved. Arm Mortar. A weapon originally designed for the Kuden Type 3, it can also be used by mobile suits. 2 mortars can be stored on each of the Barbatoss's forearms. When in use, the mortar will flip forward for firing. Once the first mortar is launched, the second mortar slides up. The mortar launcher then flips back and the second mortar is loaded. Although seen in use only by the 5th form, the arm mortars can also be used by the 5th form ground type or the 6th form if required. 170mm auto cannon. Depending on the situation, the 4-arm mortars can be replaced by a pair of auto cannons that uses helical magazines. The autocannon's barrels extend when in use. Due to their limited ammunition, they are unsuitable for long-range shooting battle, but are highly effective when used in close combat. Used by the 5th form ground type onwards. Large Special Mace. A replacement for the original mace after it was lost during the atmospheric entry battle, it has the nickname Wrench Mace. Besides functioning as an excellent striking weapon, the front portion of the wrench mace can open up and clamp onto an enemy unit tightly. A special chainsaw hidden in the bulbous front portion of the mace can then slice apart the enemy unit. Used by the 5th form ground type onwards, and can be stored on the backpack arm when not in use. The mace was destroyed in combat by the Grey Zine during the battle in Edmonton. Special equipment and features. Alaya Visionana system. An organic device system, this old man-machine interface was developed during the Calamity War to maximize the abilities of the mobile suit. Hence, most mobile suits from that era, like the Gundams, are compatible with it. The system has 2 parts, one part is installed in the mobile suit, and the other part is implanted into the pilot's spine. With this system, the pilot can connect to the mobile suit's computer and directly process mobile suit data. It also allows the pilot, even uneducated ones, to operate mobile suit for combat without reading the instruction manual, and can make difficult weapons like the Barbatoss's long sword and the smoothbore gun much easier to use. The implant in the pilot also enhances spatial awareness. The drop in technical capabilities after the Calamity War, coupled with the use of an incomplete version of the system in the outer sphere areas, such as Mars and Jupiter, lead to the implant surgery having a low success rate and can only be done at a young age to let the implant fuse as the pilot grows. As the Barbatoss's original cockpit was missing, it was fitted with the Alaya Visionana system interface from a mobile worker to allow the system to function. The Barbatoss's Alaya Visionana system can transmit higher than the usual amount of data to the pilot as its limiter was switched off for Mikazuki's use, thus only he can pilot the Gundam without any problems. Backpack Arm. There are 2 backpack arms on the Barbatoss's backpack, one on each side of the back thruster. The backpack arms can mount weapons, and when their hidden jointed arms are deployed, some weapons, such as the smoothbore gun, can be used while still mounted. JEEM-103 Kuden Type 3. A long-distance transport craft booster used for transporting containers and mobile suit. It can travel at extremely high speeds and thus traverse great distances in just a short amount of time. It was used by Mikazuki and Nadi to catch up to the Isaribi because they stayed behind at Seisei to help with the Barbatoss's overhaul. Chest Reactive Armor. Additional armor mounted on the chest, it is used by Barbatoss 5th form. The chest reactive armor was created by Tekkadan mechanic, Nadi, as a countermeasure against the Chimera's hit-and-run attacks with its Gingnur lance. It can endure a hit from the Gingnur and will be purged immediately after, thus repelling the attack. Barbatoss can then use the chance to hold onto the lance and prevent further attacks. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up and share this video. Thank you for watching.